Let me start this video by saying, if you have not seen my first video about creating good lighting just in general for any type of subject, whether it be a person or any kind of object, go watch that one first. I will put the link down in the description. Let's get started with this video, however, about lighting people with glasses specifically. So there are two big problems that people tend to encounter when they're trying to light a person who are wearing glasses in a video. The first one is glare caused by the lenses, and the second one are shadows caused by the frames. So how do you combat these two problems? Well, let's start with shadows caused by frames. You tend to notice the shadows if you're using the wrong kind of light under your eyes here, sometimes even over the eye itself, as well as in the bridge of your nose here. But how do you combat this? How do you get rid of this? Well, it comes down to the light that you're using. Most people, they try to cheap out on the lights. They don't understand the differences in the lights. They don't understand why one light can be $600 and another one can be $30. What's the difference? So cheaper lights tend to have little to no diffusion and tend to be very harsh because they are the lights that have all those little bulbs, and will have like 30 of those little tiny little pea-sized bulbs, and you just turn it on and maybe they've got like a little plastic sheet or something to kind of help with diffusion, but it still is very focused light. Now the difference is if you were to say have an aperture light, which is kind of the industry standard at the moment, it's one bulb and just puts out one light. It's still harsh, but it helps with diffusion better. Now what diffusion actually does is it's a piece of material that will help to spread the light molecules out so that they're not so focused from the source. What this looks like is if you have, like on a cloudy day, if you've ever noticed how usually there will be shadows caused by trees and whatnot when it's super sunny or, at a specific time of the day, but it's cloudy and it's at that time of day, there's no shadows anywhere. Now, some diffusion isn't going to be quite that good, and as you can see, my diffusion isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than lights I've used in previous videos where I kind of tried, but I didn't quite have the lights that I needed because I couldn't afford them at the time. Now I've purchased the correct light that helps to reduce the glare and the shadows. So the next thing though is, now we've talked about shadows, you got to have diffusion, and you're going to have to put down some money for that. And one thing that you're going to notice about diffusion is actually how far away it is from the actual light source. So if you look up an Aputure 120D, which is what I use, and the light dome, you'll notice that the light dome is quite large, especially in comparison to the light. If you have seen my other video, then I showed an example in that video. Now, getting rid of glare. Having a softer light is also what helps with that. Now, you can see if I look up to my right, you can see my light. But if you go to some of my previous videos, actually some of the first videos that I made, you'll notice that there was those lights with those little tiny pea bulbs. I have used those before, so I speak from experience when I say how harsh those are. You can see each individual bulb in my lens. Here you can kind of see a little bit of like cross hatching, and that's caused by an add-on to my light dome, which helps to focus the light instead of spread it just in general out. It's like a lens for your light basically. But it's not nearly as bad as that. Now, having the diffusion helps with that, but also the physical location of the light in relation to you is what's also going to help with that. So what I tried to do is, because I only have room for one light, I put it kind of in a space that would help reach across my face a little bit better. But also I tried to put it above me so that it wasn't quite in view of my glasses. Now, if I were to have two lights, that would have been better, because what I can do with my light is I can move it more to this side. But the reason why that creates two is because here it's coming across my face. If I bring it over here, because of the focus of the light, it's not going to. So I need a second light over here as a fill light to help fill in some of this side and not create just a dark void, and to kind of help reduce some of the extra shadows that would be caused by that. You have two lights going opposite directions, the shadows cancel, if you will. One light is totally possible, as I showed in my previous video on lighting, but it's not always the best. If you have the space, highly recommend getting two of the same high quality lights and having them more to the side. That way they can light both sides and it still looks even. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.